Now, looking at news south of the border, residents in the Buffalo, New York area are still digging out from the paralyzing snow that trapped residents over the weekend. A driving ban remains in effect in the region as cleanup crews work to clear the roads for emergency responders. At least 34 people have died in New York's Erie County. That staggering toll is expected to rise as teams continue search and rescue efforts. Now, one person who's dealt with the storm that hammered New York firsthand is Craig Elston. He's the owner of CNC Cuts Barbershop in Buffalo, and last week he opened up his shop to people seeking shelter from those harsh winter conditions. Craig joins me now from Buffalo. Hello to you. Thank you for making time for us.
Hey, how you doing?
So now I understand that you yourself needed shelter. So how did you, first of all, end up trapped in your barbershop?
I came in just, to make a couple dollars and cutting hair, and had a couple clients that said was I, going to be in, so I came in.
So you came in, and then all of a sudden you saw that the weather outside was turning out to be a little bit more treacherous and dangerous than you had anticipated. What happened next?
Once I opened up the business, me and a few of the clients I had in here, we got stuck in here. So we already knew, like, all right, it's 2 or 3 of us in here. We gonna ride it out and be stuck. So once we were stuck in here, people that seen the lights on when it got later on in the day was banging on the door saying that they needed shelter. An Arabic man banged on the door, and once I let him in, the first word he said was, "If you didn't let me in 2 or 3 minutes, I was gonna die." So, I'm like, this is crazy.
Did you ever think that you'd be in that sort of a situation where you would have people knocking on the door of your barbershop saying, "You need to save my life"?
No, not in a million years. I never thought I would be in that position.
So what was it like the first night sleeping at the barbershop?
Once I posted it on social media, it was a bunch of people in here of all nationalities that I'd never seen before in my life needing shelter. So I just did what I could, provided them with what I could to make it a little bit easier with not being home and missing the holidays being in the barbershop. So it was pretty crazy and uncomfortable.
And I understand you got a little bit of food from some of the neighborhood businesses, and you kind of made it almost like, as you're saying, a shelter for these people who were trapped.
Yes.
And so in terms of what stories you were hearing from people, you gave us one anecdote that someone came knocking on the door and said, honestly, your actions, you opening your business, saved my life. What else were you hearing from people who were probably pretty scared looking at the conditions outside and concerned about how they were going to get home?
People was forcing themselves to leave because their mothers, fathers, brothers, and everybody else was stuck somewhere. And they say, I'll die before I let one of my family members lose their life in this storm. So a lot of people, that did come, people were in and out. They ran back out to rescue other people back into the blizzard.
Were you able to, at least all of you, despite those conditions and the situation, have some good laughs, make some good friends?
Honestly, a lot of the people, it wasn't even that. They were just on the phone with their family, and a lot of them didn't even speak English. So the conversations really wasn't that, it was very limited.
Now, as people are saying that you did such a heroic act, really, by helping all of these people, how does that make you feel?
It's overwhelming because I didn't do it for that. Like, I've always been the type of person to, try to help people around me. So I just did it because I seen people in the cold and I just wanted to make them warm.
We know, for example, that at least 34 people in New York died during that storm. What do you think people outside of your state should know about the weather that Buffalo is facing right now and just how extraordinary it is?
This was so devastating and so tragic. The winds was up to 70 miles per hour. The snow probably was up to 11, 12 feet. Cars was buried in, people's houses was buried. Pipes was busted. People were without lights. People were without heat. People were looking for shelter. And, the barbershop was just a place that was open to the community so people can come here. And that's really all I did.
When you reflect on those few days now that a few days have passed, what goes through your mind?
That I just wanted to, give back to the community any way I could. Like, the way I look as the way I look is, when you're a barber, you're like a pillar of the community, and it's our job to kind of protect the community, give somebody a place to come to talk about what they're going through, and the barbershop be an outlet to kind of for men to come to kind of release themselves. But it turned into a shelter and kind of a safe zone.
Well, I'm certain that many people are very grateful for your actions on that day, and we appreciate you sharing some time with us today.
No problem, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you again, Craig. That is Craig Elston. He is the owner of CNC Cuts Barbershop, and we reached him today in Buffalo, New York. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.